Mention Strand just outside of Cape Town, and the immediate vision is of a long golden beach and beautiful waters. But it's also a small community where there's not often a great deal of opportunity or hope. That's changed, though, the emergence of one of the most exciting rugby talents in South Africa, Damian Willemse, who's not just a rugby great, but a man with a huge social conscience. Damian Willemse, this is home.
Yeah, Mr. Nicholl, this is home. Grew up here in Strand, and yeah, it's good to be back and to see a few familiar faces. And yeah, so this is our home field here in Strand, Abattoir, Nicholl, known as Nicholl. One of the fields that I first grew up playing my first rugby. It's a place that brings a lot of good memories back to me. And
tell me about those. What was it like growing up here?
Obviously, the community who loves sport, who love rugby. Rugby is a big part of this community, and all the people, play rugby, and especially with our, dads and everyone.
You mentioned your dad. He was a bit of a local rugby legend, wasn't he?
Yeah, he played a little bit of rugby for Strand Rugby Club. They called Strand.
Now, your house was not too far from a house just around the corner. There was another rather special lady in your life who lived there until quite recently.
Yeah, my gran. She played a big part in my life. I grew up, both my brother and I, with my gran, and yeah, she was the heart and soul of our family, and yeah, she recently passed away, and yeah, just visiting now brings also a lot of good memories back, and yeah, I'm just super grateful for everything that she has done for me in her life and in my life as well. So yeah.
It was fascinating visiting her street, visiting the street where your flat was growing up, and seeing all the people. The moment they see you, they're smiling, they're waving. And I don't think you missed anybody's name. You knew all of them. You're clearly still such a part of this community.
Yeah, the community is a big part of my life. And yeah, just coming back and seeing everyone. And they wouldn't have chirped me because we lost three in a row. And obviously we won the last one against the All Blacks. But if we have lost that one, would have gotten a lot of chirps. They are the ones who still support me and send me messages on the weekends and stuff. So, I know that they are behind me and they've got my back.
It's a community that is quite clearly besotted with Damian Willemse because everyone was waving and cheering. None more so than a lovely lady I met at the last house that we went to visit to, and we walked in the door and there was this shrine to Damian. That, of course, is where your parents are. Tell me the story about that house and the role that you and your brother had in it.
We lived in a one-bedroom apartment, and yeah, we both wanted our own rooms, and obviously for our parents, we wanted to give them a better life, and especially with my young sister, we had to move on, and yeah, we bought our parents their first home with our first contract, and which was pretty special, and probably a day that I won't forget.
You've also, though, you're going to need to explain this to me, you seem to have a slightly strange obsession with trees, Damian.
Yeah, the trees really started when I was in lockdown, and I was inspired by Hector Bellerin as well, when he planted 50,000 trees in the Amazon, and it really inspired me to do the same for people here back home. And
trees aren't something you often think of as privilege, but I guess in a sense it is, really.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a privilege, and I think for us, nature has such an effect on us, and for me that it had such an effect on me, and how it shaped me, and how it just gave me a lot of new life, and that's something that a lot of people here might need, and yeah, I'm determined to obviously raise a bit of funds and hopefully make this a beautiful community where people have access to those kind of things, and enjoy taking the dogs for a walk and stuff like that, which I think is really a privilege, and I think people will really enjoy it.
So if people are watching this, they think, this sounds like a really cool initiative. How do they get involved? How do they support you?
Yeah, so I'm lucky to have a lot of good and great sponsors with me on this project. One is which is Vida. So you can visit the local Vida and buy a reusable cup, and they will then plant on your behalf. Pura is also doing, if you buy a case, Pura donates 15 Rand, and then you can visit my social networks, and the link is there, and you can donate 28 Rand, and it's 2 trees, and they can plant 2 trees. So yeah, that's ways people can get involved.
Well, I think we can make a deal here. I'll speak on behalf of the Dan Nicholl Show viewers and our audience. You keep inputting great performances for the DHL Stormers and for the Springboks, and we'll keep buying trees and keep supporting what you do. How's that?
That sounds awesome.
Deal?
Yeah.
All right, there we go. It's a wonderful story of a kid from Strand who didn't come from a great deal, but gee, he's making the most of us, inspiring us on the field, but I think at the end of the day, even more importantly, inspiring us off the field as well.